as it turned out, this lady was using the vacuum cleaner and grabbed the tap and got electrocuted. And I then went and told my mother that there was what had happened, and she again was an ignorant sort of a woman, wouldn't listen to me. I went back inside the house again. The little boy had gone back inside again. I took him out again and then jammed the door so he couldn't get back in. Went and seen my mother again. She still wouldn't listen to me. And then about an hour later she went in there and found the dead lady. Now that's just one of the many, many, many things that I've experienced in my lifetime as a little boy growing up. And of course the angels educated me as I was growing up until I got to the point where I was able to call upon angels to do what I wanted to be done. So this is what's happening today. So how Janelle and I met, for example, and how life has unfolded is all to do with a divine plan. And I'm just showing the world how to read it, that you all are God in the flesh, providing you cast out these demonic thoughts. Christianity has got to get rid of the demonic thoughts. All the Muslims have got to get rid of demonic thoughts. The Quran, for example, was written by Pharisee Jews under the command of Rome, and what they did there was deny divinity of Jesus. So they believe in Jesus. Actually, it's mentioned many times in the Quran about Jesus, but it's not divine. And that's what they've done. They've controlled the Muslims by inventing the Quran. So it goes on and on and on, and no matter where you look, it's all evil, which is what you would expect you to find if you're in hell. And my boy, that's where we all are. That's why I've come down here now to fix it. So we are going to be crossing the Milky Way galaxy equator, which is all laid out in one, the Great Pyramid, but it's also thousands of years later in the Mayan calendar. So the pyramid has it all. And it tells you the birth dates, it tells you the by dimensions to one measuring to within 1/10,000th of an inch. It gives you precisely who I am, where I am, my children, Michelle's children, Janelle's children, all my relatives, all the birth dates are in it. And they all hover around one date, which is the 11th of January, 1944, 2:22 a.m., Sydney, Australia, when I was born. So I've come along and said, look, you're being screwed every way you look at it, whether it be religion, whether it be monetary policy, whether it be sending people to war. You've got the straw man thing happening. Just Google that, anybody who's listening now, that they insure you basically like Al Capone did, and then go and get you killed. They don't want you to ever recover from cancer, but they want you to die over a 30-year period or so, because they reap millions of dollars. And then when you die, all this money that is sitting in the stock market goes back in secret because you're born intestate, declared legally dead by a judge when your birth certificate is issued. It is endless, absolutely endless. Do you want to talk about the
world we're living in?
The world we're living in. But we've just set up the holy city, and that is Harcourt. There is reasons why this is so. It's all based on the numbers of Jesus and where I was born. We measure from that location, 105 Rothschild Avenue. The 105 number is eagle, which is basically the angel. It means angel. And there's two locations here in Harcourt, which is Eagles Road North and Eagles Road South. So when you measure from Eagle Road South to where I was born and back again, it is a distance of 888 miles. So I'm just designing up our own currency, and we will do exactly what the Jews have done, because they had a good idea, except it's based on deceit and evil. We're going to do it the other way around. We're going to be open and honest.
Right?
It's all based on sheer greed and everything you would conceive the devil to be, which is humankind, which are influenced by the Lucifer fallen angels, and there's lots of them, and they inhabit human beings. Now the devil can't get off the earth, so when the person dies, the soul leaves, the demons remain. And they're running out of time. That's why they're stepping up trying to cause World War III, and that's why they've got N1's H1 vaccination. Vaccination is the worst thing you can do. That's why they invented AIDS. That's why they perpetuate cancers and all sorts now, because they're all laboratory stuff.
It looks like they're gearing up for World War III.
They're trying, but you're already in it. This is already in World War III.
Well, it looks like they're accelerating it towards actually fulfilling it because the people are uprising, the people are becoming awake on so many different levels.
That's right.
It's a conspiracy between the different governments to say, hey, Greece is under pressure, all world currencies are falling, Thailand, there's uprisings in Thailand, there's uprisings here in the States. I mean, they need to do something. So how can we counteract that?
Well, we just take over and we make our own currency.
There you have it. That's a beautiful thing. That's such a simple thing.
Now, I will give anybody, any nation or any
thought of that?
Any small area on Earth, let's say Las Vegas, for example, where there's houses there you can buy for a song because no one's going there gambling. Why not make it Sin City into a holy city? Right? I'll hold seminars there if you like. Now, what you can do is, all right, we'll just surround that area and say, okay, now this is New Jerusalem too. Okay, Yahweh says, right, we're going to come here. We'll turn all these casinos into places of entertainment and make it without gambling, just like Branson, Missouri. That's a good example. Have all entertainment and have children go there, and we have our own currency. I'll design it, and it's beautiful, I can assure you.
It's truly glorious, works of art.
I was saying that, Janelle, that the gambling aspect of Vegas is total corruption and devilish.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, that's right.
It's interesting because Steven Spielberg produced that movie, The Stand, some years ago. I don't know if you've seen it. I only saw it in 2007. And of course, all of America's been wiped out by a diabolical virus. And you've got two groups left. You've got the righteous group, which goes and settles in the country, and then you've got Sin City being occupied by the devil and all of his cohorts. Well, you know, in the end, God wins. Not quite the way that they've portrayed in the movie, but it was suggested just this last week or so that we actually do go to Las Vegas and begin teaching in this place. Since the economic crash, people don't have the money to be spending on gambling and that kind of thing. But it is literally a matter of invading, if you like, with righteousness. Not holding back, going into these places, calling them for what they are, and then taking it over with righteousness. Again, thanks to Christianity and their teachings and their belief that they'll inherit a kingdom that exists in the realm of no time and it's not here on the earth and all of that. They've abdicated their role of responsibility as God in the flesh, because that's what being human is. God is completely human, a total perfect human being. That's who God is. And of course we are all made in his image. So when we grow up into that perfection of our soul and understanding of, yes, he's here, but he's saying, so are you. As I am, so are you. You are my offspring. So with that, of course, comes the responsibility of acting in righteousness, seeing that all needs are met in every nation upon the earth. There is no way, Jose, that there should be any kind of
no
starvation.
shortage of anything.
There's no shortage of anything. There is no overpopulation. It's all been deliberately controlled, held back by the devil, who delights in the slow death of starvation. He really gets off on that. These nations that have gone from being the wealthiest upon the earth just decades ago to now being totally impoverished with their people being annihilated through starvation. We have to rise up. We have to, without fear of any kind, the 144,000 in particular, it is unto death. That is what makes us tick. We will walk in the truth, and we are willing to die. The kicker is that once we come to that absolute laying down of our lives for the truth, and